I want to welcome Miss Ginger Tate to my show. She's the owner of Fort Mill Nutrition here in Fort Mill, South Carolina. Miss Tate, I want to thank you so much for allowing me to come here and interview you and hear your success story. And I know your words are going to inspire someone that maybe have been thinking about starting a business or doing something in life. So for the viewers that may not know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from?
Okay, well, thank you first for allowing me with this opportunity. Like you said, I'm Ginger. Last name is Tate. I'm originally from Gaffney, South Carolina, but I've lived in York County for a couple years. Traveled with the military. I have 20 years in the service, which brings me to opening this smoothie shop. I said when I hit my 20 years and may not deploy as much as I have in the previous years, that I wanted to do something for myself. This is an area of nutrition that has always interested me. So Fort Mill is great, a home feel, and here I am.
Great. And can you tell us, what is Fort Mill Nutrition? Tell us a little bit about that.
So Fort Mill Nutrition, it is it's not a typical franchise. We do use Herbalife-based products. So I'm an Herbalife distributor. After you've been a distributor and you know the product, you're passionate about the product, you have the opportunity to open a store versus doing a typical point-to-point sale where you just go out and get people to get a monthly subscription. So that's what Fort Mill Nutrition is. We sell smoothies, loaded teas, which give you a ton of energy. The teas are I think our main attraction here.
Oh, the teas. Okay.
Yeah.
I had your smoothies and they were really, really good.
Well, the teas give you that energy, the focus. Is kind of like drinking 2 cups of coffee, but everything's natural. It's an herbal tea and it has a shot of aloe to work with your digestion. So, and they're like different flavors, so they're really good. I think that's the main attraction.
Okay, well, I'm definitely going to have to come back and get some of those teas.
Try it in the morning first.
Oh, in the morning. Okay. And how did the idea for your business come about?
Well, I've used Herbalife products for years. I've used other products as well, but I've always come back to that product, to this product. But a couple months ago, I was in my born hometown, which is Gaffney, and one of these stores had opened, and I fell in love with the product that they were making out of the product I was already using. So it was something I believed in, and I just decided to, I was drinking them enough, so it made sense just to open a store.
Right. And since we're talking about success and you opened your store, how long did you say you've been in business?
I opened June the 1st.
June 1st of 2021?
2021, so it's a couple months.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And starting out, just for the viewers that maybe, like I said earlier, maybe wanting to start out, starting a business. Can you talk about a little bit about what it takes to start a business, owning a business, and in terms of how many hours a week would you say you invested in starting this business? Well,
I'll start with how many hours a week. It takes continuous effort. It's not something that you can just start and say, hey, I'm going to devote 2 or 3 hours a day. Like you have to make it your life. You have to make it your passion. Your time management must be top priority. There's no time for procrastination. I would say in opening a business, it's got to be something you're passionate about, because if it's going to be another job for you, then you're going to lose focus, you're going to lose that zeal. So it needs to be something that you really want to do, something that you believe in. Otherwise, you're just going from a job to another job.
Because this is your baby. You gotta nurture it.
It's my baby.
And for your business, I know you've been in business since, you said June, I believe?
June the 1st.
June the 1st. How do you generate new ideas for your business? Your shop looks really, really great.
It's all about the customer. We come in, we have different flavors, we have different product. And so a customer may come in and say, hey, I see this on the menu, but I really like these flavors. So we may try it. They like it, we put it on the menu, at least, unofficially on the menu. But it's all about, what do the customers want, making the customer happy, and just staying, innovative, staying on their minds. So it's just customers first. And that's part of, why I'm here. I can't say that I've had a bad career working in corporate America, but being able to talk to people day in and day out and help them with their goals, it's is the best.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess that's what, like you said, your favorite aspect of it, just your freedom and your time interacting with the public, probably a little bit more than what you did in corporate America.
Yeah, especially with COVID. I mean, we still have to be careful. It's always, keeping COVID protocols, maintaining the 6, meters. The 6 meters or 2 meters apart. But you still have that face-to-face interaction in corporate. Everything had gone to Teams, so you didn't get to see people as much.
Right, right. And in business, I know we all experience failures in business. Not sure if you have or not, but if you can help someone that may have experienced some kind of failure in business, how to get them through it. Have you ever experienced any failures in business? And if so, what are some of the mistakes you've made and how did you get through it?
So I've only been open since June the 1st, so it's been a short amount of time, but I would say underestimating the amount of time it takes to open a business. Like sometimes it can be easy or look easy, but you need to constantly be on top of what, the customers expect, making sure even when you have an extra moment to just sit back and relax, what can I do better? Right. So, if you're going into business thinking that you're just going to open the doors and then business is just going to come, that just doesn't work that way. Exactly. And here, since I wasn't born here in Fort Mill, I think that has been my biggest challenge, because even though I'm a York County resident, I've been here, people don't know me. Right. So I think prior to opening, being more involved in the community would most definitely have been a big change. Big change for it. And obviously a big plus being out there in the community. I know you have activities. You're doing something next week, you said, here, right? Next week, if I live, I hope it'll turn out well. But me and one of the customers, I think, really good relationships with my customers. We talk, we laugh, but we've decided to do the one chip challenge. And it's just, something fun to do. My customers have become more like friends. So I'm going to start doing things like that just to, make it a friendly environment. Right, right. Well, that's great community involvement, like you were talking about. And also, to help people. I know when I started my business, and my question is adversity. When I started my business with the motivational speaking and doing my YouTube channel, trying to grow that and everything, a lot of my friends, some of them were for it and some of them seemed like they were against it, or they gave me, some bad advice or something. They're like, what do you know about being on YouTube? What do you know about starting a motivational speaking business? Did you ever face any adversity or anything with people maybe putting it down, not seeing your vision? I didn't, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I knew that would happen and that could happen. So a lot of people, unless you were in that real, what I call inner circle, they had no clue that I was thinking of doing this. Right. Because this is something I wanted to do. I wanted to manifest it on my own. Right. I made sure that I was able to do it without, needing the financial help from anybody. Right. This isn't something I just woke up and said, hey, I'm going to do. So I didn't get a lot of negative feedback from people because I didn't allow it. Exactly. Because I've been thinking of doing something like this for over 20 years, but every time I thought about it, I had someone say, maybe you shouldn't, what do you know? Just like you said. Right. And so I was like, this time I'm doing it. Yeah. When it opens, they'll find out. I'm not leaving any room for anybody to talk me out of it. Yeah. Keep all that negativity over there. I kept it away, so I didn't see a lot of it. Exactly. And we talked a little bit about your customers and how they become more like your friends and stuff. Can you expand a little bit more about how you were able to build that successful customer base, not being from this area? You come to this area, you don't know anyone. Can you expand a little bit more about that? Well, I think people might be my specialty. It's like when I joined the military in 2000, I literally joined just so the military could pay for my college. I had no intentions of serving our country long term, but after I joined and I had these relationships with other soldiers, we traveled, we saw, other countries, other, people. I just realized people that's my specialty, like getting to know people. So opening this shop, it didn't feel like it was anything like out of the norm. I talk to people. It's just a genuine conversation, and then it just grows from there.
Exactly. And you went out on faith. I think
went out on faith. But my customers have, I know them. They know me, and we're building that relationship. It just feels natural.
Oh, okay, great. And obviously, the premise of what we're talking about is success. So I want to pick your brain a little bit and have you tell me, how do you define success?
Like I said, we've been open since June the 1st, so I can't say that the shop has given me another retirement plan. However, yet it's coming.
Exactly.
But what I think for me, success, and we're not going to speak this to in existence, but if something happened and I did close the doors to this shop, what I would say is, if I learned anything to help me continue or even try another venture, I've been successful.
Exactly.
So as long as I continue to grow, whether it be here or outside of here, I've been successful. So for me, that's it. Now, of course, I like the money, the flow, and things to, be profitable. That's just, normal success. But as long as I grow, I continue to grow as a person, I'm good with that.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Do you believe there's some type of pattern or formula to being successful?
Consistency. Yeah. Just to cut to the chase, you have to be consistent and manage your time and be honest. Like in the Army, we live on 7 core values, integrity being the one that I think I value the most. If you can't be honest, then you just don't have a foundation. So,
absolutely.
I think transparency, honesty, and just being genuine.
Exactly. And obviously that's great advice for people. But let's get to Fort Mill Nutrition. How do you distinguish yourself from the competition that's out there? There's nutritional shops out here. What's unique about Fort Mill Nutrition?
It's funny. I haven't even, and this may not be the right business answer, but I haven't really focused on any competition. I've just focused on, being the best me.
Exactly.
Being the best person to my customer, offering the product, being able to explain the product, because at the end of the day, there's so many products out there.
Yeah.
You have Herbalife, which is what I use here. There's Plexus. There's a lot of product. I think there are a lot of great products, but me knowing my product so that the customer can make a great, the best decision for them is best for me. I don't need to focus on what someone else is doing, because there's enough people, there's enough business for all of us to be successful. So focusing on the competition just hasn't been where I put my focus. It's just, when they come into this door, they need to know that I know the product, I can give them knowledgeable information so they can make the best decision for themselves, and that it's genuine and it's true. So
exactly.
That's it.
I think that out of all the interviews I've done, I think that's one of the best answers to that question, because once you start focusing on something else, it takes away from what you already have. Yeah. And I think that's excellent. I think it's an excellent answer. Yeah. Excellent.
Well, thank you. It's just, we have to stop competing with one another and just be the best you. That's
absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. And where did you get your entrepreneurial spirit? Were your parents entrepreneurs?
No. I don't even know if it's entrepreneurial more than it's my passion for people. In the military, I'm a major, and a few years ago I deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. And out of everything I've done in the military, taking soldiers over and building those relationships, that's the best part of my military career. So for me, I don't know if it's more so about being an entrepreneur more than it's being able to define what I want to do, which is be very close and work with people.
Exactly.
And if you make money in the course of it, then great.
Right.
Of course I don't want to, not make money, but I really, it's about the people for me.
Right. Exactly.
And it's about me. Like, I've done corporate America. punched in and out. I've done well, so I'm not complaining about that. But like, I just want to be able to like be me.
Exactly, and it's your time.
Yeah,
now.
and it's my time.
And you saw that. I think you and I talked a week or so ago, and you saw that. You were just stepping out on faith. So it's your time, and hey, it's here.
Yeah, I mean, I see so many people doing it right now. I've procrastinated about it. I've been afraid to do it. And I'm still afraid. Like, still, every day I wake up thinking, oh my, but I'm here.
Exactly.
So let's just see what happens.
Well, the biggest thing, like I tell everybody, you took action. You didn't sit back. You may have, kind of hesitated just a little bit, but you took action on it, and now you're here. So.
And I think too, is when the hesitation is normal. And I think it's a good thing to have, because you need to make sure you're making a good decision. But nothing's ever going to be perfect. Exactly. So it's just, you try it, and once you hit a wall, like I've hit several walls since I've opened this door, as I was trying to open it, but it's like, what can I do to get over it? Now I'll probably hit another one. But guess what? It's just like, we'll figure it out. Yeah. As long as I keep trying. There's so much knowledge. There's so many people. And that's another thing about the customers here. I get so much good advice from my customers, so much insight. If I hadn't opened these doors, there's a lot of things I wouldn't know, a lot of people I wouldn't know, a lot of lessons I wouldn't have learned, because everybody brings something to the table. So that customer experience, I just don't give them their smoothie and their shake. We have a conversation. Hopefully they take something from me, because I take something from them each time. Exactly. And being in business since June, and we all have sacrifices we have to make. Like me starting my business here and working, full time on my full time job. There's things that I may want to do with my daughter who's here now, but I can't, because I have to do this in order to build that business. Are there any sacrifices that you had to make to get your business up and running continuously, or anything like that? Most definitely a financial sacrifice. As far as time, I've always, I think, for lack of a better term, stretched myself a little thin, which is another reason I want to do this, so that eventually, maybe some part of my life, I can control my time. But there have been things that family members have, had that I couldn't attend. My dad is in the hospital, transitioning to the nursing home right now, and the visiting hours are strict because of COVID. Right. So we'll have to try to figure out the sacrifice to make sure I'm here but still see him. But the people in your life that know what you're doing, they understand what's going on. So they kind of work with the sacrifices, and if they end up having to kind of be by the wayside while you do that, they're fine. So I haven't had any issues with the sacrifices, but I would say most definitely time. I love a nap. It's like the best thing in the world, but napping is like, oh, I can't take a nap right now, but just to put some humor in it, I love my naps, but those have decreased. Oh yeah, I can only imagine. We've talked about your sacrifices, but what are what's been your greatest accomplishment in business? Overcoming fear. Because I think I should have done this years ago. Right. Like, I should probably have this store and a few more. But fear has always been so huge with me. And people look at me like, oh, you're a major in the military, you did this, but there's still that fear. Right. And so overcoming the fear, and guess what? If things don't work out, it's okay. So I will tell you, if for some reason Fort Mill Nutrition and selling the smoothies and the loaded teas didn't work out, guys, I'm selling something out of this building. So, like, we're going to continue until, I figure it out, like, because the fear isn't there anymore. Right. So that's what I've overcome, I think. Okay, great. And tacking on to your accomplishments, to whom do you attribute your success in this business or starting your business? I'm going to have to give a shout out to my daughter. She is here with me every single day.
Right.
I still work a full-time job. I haven't left corporate America. I'm still a soldier in the military. So I still have a lot going on. There's no way that I could have done this without her.
Wow.
She is here every single day while I'm working my full-time job. She's my partner. She knows the business, and she's amazing with the customers. Like, I had a customer come in today, and as soon as I saw her walk into the door, I'm thinking, oh my daughter makes something really special for her, and I don't even know what it is, because she knows, like, customers are allergic to this and allergic to that. Right. And I do too, but she just has it. She has it, and so I really am thankful that she's here with me.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Because I had the vision, but I couldn't do it without her. And her name's Brescia.
Brescia?
So, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with you and Brescia, how do you all plan on scaling or growing your business?
It's going to be me, Bree, and the customers. I think when you came in, there were a couple customers in here. And we just did a TikTok, and they're like, you know what, we need to do this. I love it here, we need to do this. So, but with me and her and the partnership with my customers, we're gonna continue to market. We're gonna continue to spread the word. We're gonna continue to grow. I'm telling you, the customers in this area, Fort Mill is great. Right. And it's like, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Yeah. And I'm gonna listen to them. Yeah. And we're gonna do it. That's excellent. Like you said, you got to put the customers first there. So what advice would you give someone just starting out, wanting to maybe start what you're doing or start a business? What's some advice or key activities would you tell them to invest their time in? I would say key activities, most definitely when I say research, I don't want to say personal research. Yeah. Right. When I say personal, I mean look at yourself, really think, do I want to do this? Am I serious about this? And what am I going to sacrifice to do it? If you're not willing to change anything that you're doing, then you may need to wait. Absolutely. So, because anybody can run a business, anybody can start one. Right. But do you have the personal attributes and characteristics, and are you willing to push them to do it? If you're not, stop. You can learn anything. Exactly. And go through the sacrifices. But you have to have that personal motivation. So I will say do a personal research deep inside to see if it's something that you're really ready to do and you really want to do. Exactly. And if you could talk to one person in history, who would that be and why? Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman. Yes. I don't think she gets enough credit. I mean, I know the movies came out, was it last year or the year before? Man, that woman, she had a mission. People may or may not agree with it. Right. But it was her mission, it was her vision, and she just did it. I mean, and she did it in a time where she didn't have any resources. She had a lot of adversity. Right. But I would most definitely want to know, man, what kept you going? Right. Just to even go from, state to state in weather conditions. A lot of us, we can hit a bump. A tax payment can come and you not have enough money to cover it, and I'm done. Exactly. But, and I think I have it, but I would love to hear it from her words, man, what kept you going? What motivated you? What motivated you? Because you were motivating people who didn't even want to be motivated sometimes. So and how did you continue motivating people? Because I've had customers come in and, they're motivated and then maybe they're not. How did you keep them motivated? Exactly. But no, most definitely Harriet Tubman. She was. Yeah. She's a pioneer. That's a strong woman. So, wow. Most definitely her. Well, that's great information. Yeah. Listen, I want to thank you again for allowing me to come here to interview you and to pick your brain a little bit about success, what it took for you to get to where you are, and I know it's going to help a lot of people. So, in that, how do the viewers
contact you, what's out there for them to get in contact with you to come here visit?
Okay. Well, you mentioned at the very beginning, we're located in Fort Mill. We're in the Crown Plaza, 3150 Highway 21, and we're in Suite 103. We have signs on the front and back of the building that says Fort Mill Nutrition, but we also have an Instagram page. You can find us on Instagram at fortmill.nutrition, and then we have a Fort Mill Facebook page, and it's Fort Mill Nutrition. So you can do any of those. We have you can also call. The phone number is 839-500-2195, but we're here every day. So if you have any questions, you can either come in or call. We take a lot of calls over the phone. Mm-hmm. You know, some people with COVID, making a trip isn't easy. So we talk about a lot of things on the phone. We do pickups. We don't do deliveries as much because we just haven't grown there.
Right.
But that's also an option. We've had a couple customers who have been dealing with COVID.
Yeah.
And they can't come in. We don't want them to come in. You know, stay at home. So so it's things like that. You know, if you call, we'll work with you. We'll tell you about the product. So you can call, reach out any of the social media platforms.
A website? Or?
We don't have a website yet, but that's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's
okay,
coming.
Great. Well, listen, again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate the information. And like I said, I know it's going to help someone.
Well, I hope so. That's what it's about. I mean, whether it's the nutrition or just the motivation. So I really appreciate it.